Ladies, hey girlfriend, welcome to another episode of The Girlfriend's Guide. This is episode 2, and this is a really big episode. Let me tell you why. Because we're going to start something today. We're going to start it and we're going to see it the fuck through. Yeah, I said that bad word right there. Because I meant it. We're going to start something and we're going to see it too through. This is going to be called the Execution Series. We are executing the vision. And y'all, I just came back from vacation. Let me get a quick look. Like, I don't have no nails. Like, I came back, only one was missing, but literally about 6 out of 10 fingers were so sore I could hardly do anything. So I just went and got them soaked off. Got my nails shaped nicely. I don't have on any shellac, nothing. Like, I need these things to get better before I decide to get another Gel X set put on them. I love Gel X. This is my first experience where I've had them and they've been sore. It was a lot going on that birthday trip. Like, Cabo, thank you, Cabo. Like, your girl had the best time walking into 40. So much so that I lost one fingernail, came back with several that were super sore, and polish missing from one of my toenails. It's weird. That's not why I'm covered up right now. I don't have a problem with showing my feet. I'm just really cold here in my house, but the lighting, I don't want to get hot with the lighting. So here I am under a blanket trying to get this episode going. Say hi to you know who, because he's not going to stop until he actually gets up here and gets comfortable, but that's another story. Anyway. So I even attempted to do an episode while I was away in Cabo, and I did not take this microphone because sit down. That would have been a lot to have to pack, and I don't know how to pack minimally, guys. I'm working on that. Maybe I'll get better at that by my next trip. I'm planning a trip for the summer, but also planning Friendsgiving with my great group of friends for November. So maybe by the summer or that November trip, I will have a better idea about how to pack and stay under 50 pounds, because I'm never good at that. And this time, like, I recognize things that I absolutely didn't need. And so I want to keep those things in mind when I go on my next trip, because bringing several pairs of heels and all, I don't need all that on vacation. Like, I feel like one good pair of heels for like a dressy dinner is cool. We were gone from last Friday the 8th until this Thursday the 14th. So that was a big amount of days, and I think I was concerned about how many days and all of the outfits and things like that. But really, mostly everything I wore was super light and could have absolutely fit almost I could almost rolled it up into a cute, nice size, like a big size backpack, honestly. I'll be honest. I really overpacked. I overdid it. The biggest items that I needed to pack were for our excursion when we did the ATVs and camel rides. But other than that, like, I absolutely did not, under any circumstances, need all of the things that I packed. I think I was probably like 18 pounds over initially. So I had to take things out of my suitcase and pack them in my hand. Don't judge me, y'all. Like, I overdid it. I'm honest about it. Secondly, I came straight back home, and y'all see them braids gone. Got home Thursday, braids came out Thursday. I refused. When I tell you, they might have looked nice, but they were so tangled, I could hardly enjoy, like, just feeling like my normal, like, flowy self, because, like, I felt like every time I moved, this tangled hair was like getting caught onto something, or it was just a lot going on. I hated it. Anyway, so again, we are back with episode 2. I did try to record, but I didn't take this microphone with me, and I was recording from my phone, and I'm in the middle of this good episode, and someone calls, and basically all of the podcast got lost. So I started over thinking that this is before I knew it got lost. I paused it, ended the call, thinking that first chunk would be available and I would just be able to connect the two. And then when I went back to open it and get recorded again, I'm doing it, and then I finished, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have those two pieces that I will just mesh together, and realize, oh no, baby, that's gone. Yeah, that's not mine. Like, I'm learning. Like, this is what we're going to be talking about today, doing something and like pushing through no matter what, right? So I lost our episode that I recorded while I was on vacation, but the focus is still the same. So the plan was, while I was there, I was going to introduce something to you guys as homework. And then when I came back on today for what was supposed to be episode 3, then you will have done some work and we would have been able to have some pre-conversations, some chatter and action steps. But anyway, we're going to push it forward. So again, this is episode 2 and it is called Executing the Vision. And this is the execution series, part 1 for the Girlfriend's Guide. And I'm just really excited because as I continue meeting with you guys and talking and getting to know you and building this community for us, I want us to be clear that we are all executing something. And no matter what, I want this community to feel like, oh, this is a space where I can come, I can unpack my BS or whatever it is that you want to call it, and I can actually move in my purpose and establish where I'm going, why I'm going there, and what it's going to take for me to get there. And that's what this series is basically going to be about. So one thing that I want us to be clear about is if you agree to be a part of this series, right, it will come with homework, okay? By the time this episode is posted on tomorrow morning, which is Monday, March the 18th, there will be a document that you will be able to have access to. You will make a copy of that document and then you will begin filling in the fields that are there, okay? Then you're going to invite me. You're going to invite me to your document. You don't have to invite anyone else from this community. It will be just you and I. We'll be looking through and talking about your goals, what your plans are, where you're headed, blah, blah, blah. We're moving out of just thoughts, right, and into action, right? Action takes plans. I don't care what nobody say. Okay, nobody tell me that they started a business without some type of plan. Cheers to a quality espresso martini, y'all. Let me just say this. I have been loving espresso martinis lately, between champagne and like my usual tequila shot on the side. Espresso martinis were what I drank in between everything while I was on vacation. And I just love a really good espresso martini. And I don't know why you have to tell people to kind of like add something creamy to it, like Bailey's or Kavanaugh, whichever your favorite creamer is. But I love a good espresso martini that has like a creamy texture to it. As you can see, like, cheers to the girls who love a quality cold brew that's spiked, basically. That's basically what it is, right? It's a spiked cold brew, and I'm in love, baby. You can't tell me nothing, and I'm gonna always be that girl for an espresso martini. I will never be too old for an espresso martini. Spike my coffee, please. Thank you. Anyway, as we move into this series together, we're thinking about how we're gonna move out of just thinking about something or dreaming about something and actually putting actions and planning to it, right? So this is the big thing. This is the big part for this episode. There's 3 pieces that I want you to think about. The first part is, what is it that you've been procrastinating on? And I want you to be honest when you answer this next question. Why have you been procrastinating on it? Take it a step further and establish what your why is. Like, why is this important for you to fulfill? Like, why do you need this thing to come true? Why do you need to take action toward bringing it into fruition? What's the end goal, right? So we're talking about the what, like what it is that you haven't been doing or why, and then you're gonna say why, like what it is that you feel is stopping you from getting it done. And the thing that might be stopping you from getting it done could very well be yourself. Cool. We're gonna work through that. No judgment here. I've been in that place before. I'm never too good to be honest about anything. Like, if you know me, I am a natural born hustler. I have a million things going on, and I'm always like, oh my God, I'm losing my rhythm with this, but I got this going. This is this. So it's always a lot for us. But the idea is that we're creating a routine for ourselves to ensure that what we need to execute and put action steps on is actually happening. That's the end goal here. That's the end goal here for me. The end goal is to always stay in motion on the things that are going to get us closer to and maintain the life that we really want for ourselves. And so for some people, money might not be the thing that you are trying to get to more consistently in your life. Some people don't care about money. I'm not one of those people. I'll be honest. I care about money. I care about building a lifestyle for myself that affords me first the opportunity to be able to save and build wealth for myself. I also care about the opportunity to create a lifestyle that I'm comfortable with, where struggle is not consistent, where I am reaching back and helping others, where I am constantly doing the work that I know God has put me here in. And that doesn't happen when we sit still and think about things without action. All right. So as you move out of action, out of thoughts and into action, think about what it is. Again, the first step is to think about, what is it that I have been procrastinating on? Is it a business? Is it a book you've been wanting to write? Are you rebranding yourself or something? Is it you want to make money via social media? What is it? Like, what's the thing? It could be a million. You want a promotion at work. You want to dress better and show up differently for yourself on a day-to-day basis at work, in your personal life. You want to get more active in church. You want to build your own podcast. You want to, like, what is it? What is the thing that you have been wanting to do, dreaming about? It shows up in your sleep and in your wake. I mentioned this last time. What is that thing? And why haven't you been executing on it? Be honest. Be honest. You have to be very transparent about this part, because this is the part where we're going to dig in and like really try to take away that particular piece. We canceling that one. We're going to take that one away, and we're not even going to carry it. We just going to like delete it all together. Delete. Like, no. Right? And then once you establish like the real reason why you haven't been moving on it, is it because you're scared? Is it because you don't feel like you have all of the things that you need to get it going? Like, what is the real why for why you haven't executed or made any actions on bringing this thing into fruition? And then think about the why. Like, why is this important to me? Because that's going to stay, like, I think that part is essential to like the actual movement and continuation of steps that we take toward getting this thing done. So that's 3 pieces in one step. What? And then those 2 whys. Why you haven't taken a step, being honest about why you're procrastinating in the first place. Are you just a lazy bitch? Or are you just like scared? Like, is it the imposter syndrome situation happening? You see a lot of people doing these things that you want to do. I want to start a lash business. I want to start a car wash business. I don't know. You might be that girl. I don't have any qualms about washing a car. Me personally, I like to drive mine. Do you want to open your own car wash? Do you want a promotion at work? Do you want to take doing hair seriously? Do you want to start a nail business? Like, what is it that you've been procrastinating on? And why you ain't been doing it then, sis? As we get to know each other better, you'll understand, like, I've, in this last few years, had a lot of barriers to what I was trying to do and why. And I, in this season, decided none of those things are bigger than, are stronger than my passion for the outcome to be what I want it to be. I'm over the excuses, right? Because if that's the case, if I stuck to and continue worrying about the excuses, this wouldn't be happening right now. Just being honest, this would not be a thing. The girlfriend's guide would still be just a thing that stays on my mind all day, every day. In my notes on my phone, like I have a gazillion notes on my notepad in my phone about the girlfriend's guide. I talked to a friend maybe 9 or 10 months ago about it. She called me about, I don't even want to tell you what it is because I want to introduce you guys to this particular product after we get done with this series. But it has been an essential part of just like my day-to-day. But I was talking to her about it because she texted me asking me, was this thing a good idea? I said, it's amazing. Like, this girl, get it. And so I told her that is wonderful and it like coincides with what I'm doing, what I'm wanting to do. And at the time I was thinking about just solely making the Girlfriend's Guide a book, a handbook, like several different books, which it's coming, relax. And then I thought, like, my big hankering has always been helping other people. Like, I have had a strong love for helping people my entire life. I've always wanted to like talk people through things that they're experiencing, encourage them, offer them like the best of myself when they're at their lowest. If that's just my presence and I'm in silence, but I'm showing up for them. I'll show up for people when I have absolutely nothing left a lot of times. But I know that that's my purpose. And so when I thought about toward the middle to end of last year, what the bigger picture of what the Girlfriend's Guide could be, the podcast piece was almost like inevitable. For this thing to work, the podcast is necessary. And then for the other element of the Girlfriend's Guide to work, the podcast is necessary, right? And so when you think about what you're doing and your why, like there's something in the middle of all of that that kind of like tugs at you, like in a way that like that's your purpose, right? We're executing on the strength of what your full out purpose is. And if your purpose is to be the best massage therapist, or if your purpose is to be a more organized mom, like or a more intentional person in your work life, like whatever the thing is, we're gonna like unfold and unpack those things together, because the reality is that sometimes it takes a community. Like I believe that it takes a village. I don't care what anybody say. Y'all can act like it's me against the world. What do people say when they're like, I made me? No, baby, I needed people along the way. The same way I need a light company to keep my lights on, I occasionally need people in my circle to remind me that keep going. But before I needed them, I also needed me to make the moves that I needed to make to be consistent and determined and disciplined and secure in myself and what I'm doing. I'm not saying depend on everybody around you to get things done, but the reality is we need each other, and that's what this community is for. The Girlfriend's Guide is, again, a community of like-minded individuals just simply navigating this ghetto ass life together. Okay, so as you think about the thing that you've been procrastinating on in step one and why you haven't done it, and then the big why for why that thing is important for you, then move into this quick list. Step two is a list of things that are essential for this thing to happen. Like, what do you absolutely need for the thing that you have been procrastinating on? Is this why you haven't been doing it? What do you need? And be real, like sometimes you think you need a gazillion dollars to get something done, and in reality, if you just dug a little deeper, if you went and like looked around at maybe your competition or did some research, like this is the day and age of too much free information, too many free resources. I just don't feel like any of us should be sitting on ideas anymore. I feel like we should be executing, right? With that in mind, think about what you absolutely, like what is essential for this thing to come true. Like for you to actually take your first step. What do you absolutely need? Now listen, okay, so I do have a camera, a really good camera. I can't figure out how to get the settings on it together. And I just saw a video yesterday that explained this camera in a way that none of the videos I've ever watched explained it to me. So right now, this particular setup, I chose to go with what I have. And I'm always like inclined to believe that what you have right now in this very moment, at this very second, is enough. What you have is enough to get started. What you have is enough. I'm going to say it to you again. I'm looking you straight in your eyes. Clear and simple. What you have is enough. What you have is enough. And a lot of times we are like sitting thinking like, oh my God, I don't have the money for this. I don't have the money for that. I need to have this. I need to have that. Ooh, look at their business. They have this. They have that. Start with what you got. Think about what you absolutely need. What is essential and what's not. That's your step 2. And then when you think about those things, think about step 3. Step 3 is timelines. When we put a time on something, we shift from thinking to actually doing. Putting a timeline on things timelines breed accountability. Not gonna lie. You ever been in the workplace and it's like, I got until Friday to do that, but if that very same task was due within an hour, oh, hell breaking loose. Timelines breed accountability. Timelines also breed action, right? So we're not sitting on ideas anymore. We're moving now. We're executing. I understand the thing that I've been procrastinating on. I know why I wasn't doing it. I'm deleting that why. That why don't count no more. And I also know why this thing is important to me, like the bigger picture of why I want to fulfill this thing. I've decided what I will need to get started, but I also understand what I have right now in this moment is enough. And now I'm putting a timeline. So I'm going to do, what are you doing by this day? How long will that take? In week 1, you're doing da-da-da-da-da. In week 2, you're going to focus on da-da-da-da. And in week 1, you could actually be doing several different things to get yourself going. Like, do you want to maybe look around for some website cost, like the prices of building your website? Do you want to maybe go on to I'm never going to gatekeep. Go on Canva, baby. Start playing around with a free account first and then pay for the premium if you want it. Go on Canva and think about a logo. Think about your brand colors, the voice and tone that you want your brand to have, the different type of fonts that you want to use, right? Go play with that. Put a timeline on it though. Make sure by the end of this week, Friday the 22nd, that you actually have a logo for yourself, right? Think about a name. What name are you gonna give this business or whatever you're moving in, right? Think about these are the things that I'm talking about with a timeline. Put a time stamp on it. Because once you do that, now you're holding yourself to the fire. And the thing is, I understand a lot of times that we are more committed to our work life because, work is money, right? That the work in your productivity and the excellence that shows up in your productivity, oftentimes, most times, 100% of the times, is how you maintain your livelihood. Let me be clear. I am not a girl that is going to tell you to quit your 9 to 5 and chase a dream with no real plan. No. I got a 9 to 5, y'all. I got a 9 to 5, and I'm waking up bright and early to get there and give 100% of myself to it. And then you know what else I'm going to do in the evening when I get home? I'm going to give 100% of myself to content for the Ilea Green. And then what else I'm going to do? I'm also going to give 100% of myself to creating more content for the Girlfriend's Guide, because that's what I'm executing on. Those are what my action steps are tied to. That is the work that I'm doing right now. I'm in the work. I'm in the thick of it. And so as I do the work that I'm doing for the Ilea Green and the Girlfriend's Guide, I want you to get into the work of what you're doing for whatever your thing is. If it's your personal brand, if it's your business, if it's your whatever it is, I want you to get into the work of it. And I want you to feel confident and supported. And I want you to feel empowered. You got this. And it's not just a feeling, it's a reality. You do. You've just been a little lazy on it. You've been a little confused. And I'm hoping that this work that we're doing together will clarify those things for you. So this is what I'm going to do. I will add, I'm trying to think how I actually want to do it. Because I created a document that I'm going to share with you guys. Like I said earlier, you will make a copy of that document, and that's where you're going to start responding to those 3 steps that I just gave you. Share it with me, and we'll be doing some work together to kind of build this thing out. I don't know if I'm going to choose a QR code or maybe put the link in my bio. I know that in the description for the YouTube video, I will definitely have a link to the Google document there. I'm probably going to do the same for the Spotify descriptor too, so that you can directly tap and just move right to the Google document. Do the work. That way, between now and when I'm throughout this week, I can kind of tag in and dig into what you're doing, and we can be getting some work done together. And when I talk to you on next week, we will have something to go back and forth on each other with. This isn't just for me to talk and share. This is for us to share and grow and build together, right? And the more that we get into the work together, the more that we move from thoughts to action, the better you're gonna be. I mean, you're already that girl. Don't forget, I already told you last week, and I'm gonna tell you every week after. You are that girl, right? But if who you are right now, if you're not showing up as the person that you see in your vision, stop playing with her. Stop playing, okay? Stop it right now. Stop it. The reality is what we're doing takes work in a way that you've never done before. What I'm doing takes work in a way that I've never done before. The Girlfriends Guide has me on my toes, y'all. Got me on my toes. And I really appreciate what it's doing for my discipline. Like, I think about it all day long. While I was on my trip, I thought about it all day long. I focused on some of my content. I just posted my official birthday video from the trip today. And just thinking about how I'm showing up for myself, for my personal Instagram, the Ilea Green, and for how I'm showing up for the Girlfriends Guide. It just all like, I'm loving the way that I feel when I do the thing that I'm supposed to do for myself for these things. I'm showing up. And I want you to have that same gratitude around the fact that you did that shit. It's that simple, right? And when we think about like, it's so many people who have spent a large amount of their lives looking like they got it, but they don't really have it. You know, like you see the person with the car and the this and the that, and you're like, what am I doing wrong? And when they start to open up and you dig in a little bit, it's like, oh shit, I'm really out here. Like, we don't want to look like we got it. I want you to actually have it. I want you to actually be at peace in your mental state. I want you to actually love what you do for a living. I want you to actually have that coin. And if that means we got to sit down and lay low for a little bit and really refocus our finances and ourselves and our goals and what we're doing and how we're moving and how we are showing up for ourselves first and foremost, then that's what that means. But it doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. The reality is that's why I'm here. That's what the Girlfriends Guide is about. Again, we're going to do this work together. We are executing the vision together. This is part 1 of this series. So over the course of the next 4 weeks, every move we make will be to first discover, unfold, dig into, and move into our vision so that no matter what, every conversation we have leads us back to the reality that I'm growing here. I'm growing in this community. I'm not just here for kicks and giggles. I'm here because I'm learning, I'm growing, and this community pushes into that. That's ultimately what I want this to be for us. And I will say this and sing it from any mountaintop, any given day. I want us to feel like we did it. The thing is, there's a lot of us out here that need just to be heard, just to be seen, just to feel comforted as we go through the different seasons that have been placed in our lives. Life is raggedy. I'm gonna say it every chance I get. It's hard out here. I just saw an article the other day that said the number might be a little off, maybe about like $20,000 though. Not a lot. $150,000 household is now considered lower middle class. $150,000 US dollars. Okay, the American dollars, not pesos. Who are you talking to like that? First of all, I read the headline and instantly got offended because what? Lower middle class? I think that we always hear 6 figures, 6 figures, 6 figures, and we're like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. The goalpost has moved, baby. And if we're not constantly moving and doing what it takes to get to the next part, the next phase, the next level, push past I don't, fuck the goalposts, actually, honestly, truly. Push me past that thing. Let the goalposts be chasing me, not me chasing it, right? But how does that happen if we're sitting still and sitting on ideas that could possibly catapult us to the next level? It doesn't happen overnight. And it doesn't happen when there is no motion. It happens when we decide, I'm going to show up for myself in this capacity. This is what it's going to take. While I know this is what it's going to take, this is what I have, and I can go ahead and get going with just right here, with this right here that I have. Because right here, what I have right now is enough. And that's the reality of what I want you to walk away from this episode with. I want you to walk away with a ground floor, like a starting point, like a space to kind of like get your thoughts out and put them on to this document that I'm going to share with you guys. And we're going to start sorting through it together. We're going to start like moving those pieces and deciding what's what. As we do the work, the goal for me is if I have any tools or resources that I know will benefit you in any form or fashion, I'm automatically going to turn you on to those tools or resources. Because the reality is a lot of times people just don't know. And I'm not all knowing. You don't have to be all knowing as you go into this thing, but you do have to be all willing, all open, all flexible to keep growing and keep trying and learning and researching so that you can get better and better at your craft. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, the more that you learn about it, the more that you open yourself up to other people's perspectives on it, the more that you just go and click through different videos and look through different elements and different sizes and the more you do that, the more prepared you will feel with what you have. Because the thing is, there's somebody out there with just what you have doing more than you could ever dream of. I kid you not. I kid you not. There's somebody out there with just what you have doing more than what you could have ever dreamed of. And the reality is, the more that we sit around thinking that we're not enough or we don't have enough or we got to do this, that, and the other in order to be able to get to here, here, and there, the longer it's going to take us to actually get going. And I just want my girlfriends to feel like it's not going to be easy, but I'm here. I'm showing up and I'm ready, right? Think about the things that I said. And when we speak on next week, well, honestly, when we talk throughout this week, I hope that you're invested in this series the way that I am invested in it. And I hope that I'm able to communicate with you guys via this Google document, or if you want to email or inbox, or if you just want me to send you the document directly to your email, send me a message on Instagram and I will go ahead and just directly DM it to you. I don't know if that's easier. I was playing around with the document today and I'm just trying to get it to be Google Doc friendly, because the way that I create it versus how it's showing up in Google Doc is very raggedy, very ghetto. So I'm trying to make sure that all of the elements and the way that its structure shows up the way that I want it to be. And then once that happens, it should be by the end of tonight. I'm going to have it figured out by the time this episode is posted on tomorrow. You will have access to the document and I will be able to share it with you. So again, if you want me to directly message it to you, just shoot me a message on Instagram and I will send it over to you. If you want to just click the link in my bio, I'm going to add that link there for you to be able to click it there. It'll be in the descriptor for the YouTube. It will also be in the descriptor for Spotify if you need it. I will make sure, no matter what, that you have access to this document. And we're going to get the ball rolling. So today is officially March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't pinch me. There's green on my shirt. Houston girls do it better. Shop 311, right? Green is my last name. Green is also in my hair. If you know me, I always have like some green streaks at the very back of my hair. I'm always St. Patrick's Day ready. No, I did not go outside and go drink green beer and do all of the works. I have been trying to like rest and recuperate from that trip, even though going out and having a green beer, and I'm not even a beer girl, or a green Red Bull sounded really tempting today. I did not go out. Sorry, I had stuff to do, like prepare for this episode and make sure that I had all of the essentials together. See, execution, ladies, execution. All right, so look forward to this episode, having all of the details in the descriptor, or send me a message on Instagram in order for you to get the direct link. We are done with looking like we're having it. We have it, and actually doing the work to have it. Have it. Whatever your habit is it you want to be more organized? Is it you want a consistent business that generates income for you while you rest? Is it you want a quality savings account? Is it you want to be able to travel carelessly because you built something that puts into your travel? Like, whatever it is, we're done looking like it. We're not trying to prove a point to anybody but ourselves. Show up for you. And the way that you do that, the way that you start to show up for yourself is by putting feet to the fire, by putting actions and plans in place to bring your dreams and thoughts into fruition. I hope that you feel as inspired and ready as I am, because baby, it's go time. Come April 17th, you should be ready to move your fucking feet. I don't want any more excuses to be the reason we're not moving and doing what we're supposed to do. You're good enough. You have enough. Imposter syndrome, we all see it at some point or another, right? Yeah, we're not standing in it. We're not building a house in that shit. Like, it's time, baby. It is time. It's time. And I believe in you. Okay? So, hey, girlfriend, I love you. I believe in you. And what you have right now is enough. Do your fucking homework, though. I don't want to hear nothing if you don't do your homework. Do your homework. Do your homework. And I'll see you next Monday. Good night.